क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
I think this is the first time in the world that AI is debating with a news anchor.
For me, I'll tell you why this is interesting. This has happened in India.
Yep.
On Indian prime time.
Yes.
Built by an Indian team.
Yeah.
So everything is like India first.
In association with Blue Machines.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building, President Trump himself leading from the front, a scenario where they want to really grab Greenland from Denmark. And so they really want to show that the security of North Atlantic is compromised and they need to be there, and that's why they need Greenland. So maybe it's because of that, we don't know. But taken together, it's clear that in the case of merchant vessel Marinera and the merchant vessel Sofia, which was caught, a dark fleet caught from near Caribbean Sea, which was taking the oil to China, United States has made it amply clear, taken together all these actions, that when it comes to its neighborhood, the Western Hemisphere, the so-called Monroe or the latest Donroe doctrine, they are the boss, they are the mafioso. Because the first reaction that has come from Russia says that this is absolutely in breach of international marine law. Now, United States does not subscribe to it. There is something called UN clause, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas. The US is not a signatory to it, and that's why they sort of, wherever their navy operates, they behave as if they are a law unto themselves, even in otherwise peace operations, more so in military operations. In this case, it's interesting that these shadow fleets are or have been working for Venezuela, and in fact, not for Venezuela, but carrying Venezuelan oil, but working for the likes of China and Russia. Are we really building up to a situation where there could be a military confrontation? We don't know, because remember, in this case also, there was a Russian submarine that was closely tracking and following merchant vessel Marinera, but it did not act. It
very good evening, viewers. From your smartphones to the smart televisions, the stories are always breaking the internet. And tonight on Trending, we bring you the stories that are shaking up the timeline, shaking up the headlines. And first up is the controversy straight from the United States, as ICE agent was tasked with enforcing immigration law is now under fire after a 37-year-old woman in Minneapolis was shot dead. And the chilling murder is on camera, viewers. In fact, there is this debate that whether it's a murder or it was self-defense that triggered what happened. Next, we'll get you the major geopolitical shift making waves online as Venezuela is changing course. Washington, D.C. has indefinite control, and in fact now it says that from the oil sales, Venezuela is only going to use those oil revenues to buy American-made products. So sell to America, buy from America, everything's America. America takes control, full control over Venezuela. We'll get you all that and much more. That's on Trending tonight with me, Rakshita Mishra. United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, is a federal agency under the Department of Homeland Security that's tasked with enforcing immigration laws and protecting national security. But tonight, ICE is at the center of a controversy. During a massive immigration crackdown, federal agents shot dead a 37-year-old woman in a residential neighborhood, not even the target of the operation. Video shows ICE officers surrounding her SUV, and as the vehicle moved, an officer fired multiple shots at close range, one hitting her in the head. She died instantly. Her car crashed into parked vehicles and a pole. Now, federal authorities claim that in self-defense, they say that the vehicle was weaponized. Because the vehicle was being weaponized, so he had to shoot her. That's what some are defending. Many are defending. Trump has defended that. And in some eyewitness videos, there are many questions that are now being raised. FBI is now investigating. So there are multiple videos that have come to light. We'll just play out those videos one by one. Moments after the woman was shot, a person identifying himself as a doctor repeatedly pleaded with ICE agents to let him check on the victim, but ICE officers blocked the request, preventing any medical assistance. Now, local police who were present were seen backing the federal agents as the woman lay dying. We'll just play out that video.
Check a pulse.
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor. You caught butter in the face. You killed my neighbor. How do you show up to work every day? How the do you do this every day? You're killing my neighbors. You're stealing my neighbors. What the man?
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician.
Hey, listen, we understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor. You caught butter in the face. You killed my.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
So this is one of the videos that is actually triggering a lot of anger and questions, because you clearly see that one man is volunteering to check up on her, and the agents say that, no, we have our own medics, while a woman says that, where are the medics? We don't see anything. So they are literally obstructing someone, a doctor, from checking up on the woman that has been shot down. Now, the Minneapolis mayor, Frey, has gone head-on with the federal narrative, calling the shooting reckless and unnecessary. He accused ICE of spreading chaos, not safety. In fact, in a fiery response, the mayor told federal agents to get out of Minneapolis, demanding accountability and a full, transparent investigation. Listen in.
Dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. and in this case, quite literally killing people.
Soon after, anger exploded on the streets. Just within hours of this incident, protesters swarmed the scene, blowing whistles, chanting slogans and confronting the federal officers. There were, of course, a lot of slogans being raised. Police vehicles were heckled. And by nightfall, hundreds gathered for a candlelight vigil. Flowers, posters, chants of ICE out of Minnesota. So what began as an immigration crackdown has now become a flashpoint, fueling grief, rage and a growing battle over justice in America. In fact, we'll just play those videos out from the streets of Minneapolis.
We keep us safe. Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. This is what community looks like. Tell me what community looks like. This is what community looks like.
U.S. administration, meanwhile, is holding its ground. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem defended the shooting, calling the woman's action an act of domestic terrorism. Noem says that the officer followed training, claiming the woman tried to block agents and attempted to run them over with their vehicle. While calling the death a tragedy, the administration insists the use of force was justified, even as the FBI investigates the shooting. Listen it.
Any loss of life is a tragedy, and I think all of us can agree that in this situation it was preventable. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism. Any loss of life is a tragedy, and I think all of us can agree that in this situation it was preventable. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents, an act of domestic terrorism.
And we're being joined by Dr. Joseph Jalil, who is an author and also a publisher of Universal News Network. Thanks so much, Dr. Jalil, for joining us on Republic TV. Said, now, this is a very shocking incident. We've seen, Minneapolis being in the eye of the controversy years ago because of, the death of Floyd. The police action was widely condemned and debated. And today, a woman is shot dead in broad daylight. Now, there are multiple versions. There is a lot of debates. But there is this, self-defense theory that is coming up. Then there is murder theory that is coming up, that she was killed, in an act of brute force that was used against her. So what's your take on this, and what's the kind of reaction that is on ground from the United States?
Good morning from Palm Beach, and thank you for having me. Again, any loss of life is sad, but unfortunately, the fact remains that in America, if you are disobeying a command from a police officer and you try to run him over with a car, because I have seen angles of it wherein the officer was standing in front and this lady was speeding towards the officer who shot her. So this could be claimed self-defense if that's the case. But even otherwise, it is very unlikely that the police is usually justified in the US. If they command you to move, then you should. It is not a peaceful protest if you park your car in the middle of the street to prevent the ICE officers from arresting illegal immigrants and then, take them to the detention facilities. And that's what she was doing. She was a protester, and I don't think she expected to get shot. I don't think, she has a young child. That's not the way. But again, but now what they're doing is they're playing into President Trump's hand. So where he can now, if there is a large scale riots, he can invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807 and then deploy U.S. military or National Guard without the permission of the state governor. So you should understand this state is a has been under scrutiny for past few weeks because of so much immigration fraud. A lot of Somali immigrants have called Minnesota and Minneapolis home, and they have been now exposed that they have stolen over $9 billion of American taxpayer funds in fraudulent daycare centers and other businesses, and they were funding or siphoning this money straight to Somalia. So sensitivity was very high. Second thing is the governor of the state, or the chief minister of the state of Minneapolis, was a former vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz, of Kamala Harris. So there is that Democratic, how to make some issue about something is there. And the third thing is the agitated Democratic or Democratic Party workers, most likely anti-immigration workers, were fighting with the police or the immigration and customs enforcement. They're called ICE here. But the thing is, the truth's gonna come out, because all these all the police officers or the ICE officers have body cameras, means they have live recordings from their chest. So they have a camera placed in their chest, which is recording every activity, and it cannot be turned off. So most police officers, most ICE officers, most federal officials have that, and that will be evaluated by the FBI and by the courts and to find the truth. So if it's true that the lady was trying to run the officer over and he shot in self-defense, and it's muscle memory that somebody's trying to come towards you, you shoot, then he is justified. And the interesting thing is, the same officer was run over. Maybe I was told maybe a few weeks ago by another protester in another city. So he might have been overly sensitive to something like that. So that could have also led to this. So once again, my suggestion to any of our viewers or Indians in these cities is, stay away from the street. Do not try to stop any police activity. If they're trying to arrest an illegal alien criminal, in the sense, they're only arresting people who have criminal warrants against them, but they're in the country illegally. I was told there are around 600 to 700 such people currently in Minnesota. That's what they're looking for, and they're currently there. Even today, they're there. So if they are trying to arrest them, let them arrest. We should not be.
Dr. Tally, sorry to interrupt you, but there's a difference between how they arrest and how they treat. In India, even we've seen in dire situations, one is first shot in the leg, or maybe the tire could have been punctured even if she was trying to, the way whoever they try to catch hold of, the way police brutality, is caught on camera in America, sir. That is something that has been seen for a long time now, from James Floyd to, what we are seeing today in, Minneapolis. That's, of course, a big matter of debate, Dr. But thank you so much, sir, Dr. Joseph Jalal. Always having a lovely pleasure to having you on the show. And thank you so much for joining us on Trending tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, viewers, now we shift our focus to the other stories. Venezuela is changing course, and Washington is calling it a wise choice. Now, of course, it will, because it all benefits Washington, D.C. Trump says Caracas will spend revenue from the new U.S.-brokered oil deal exclusively on America-made products. From agricultural goods and medicines to medical devices, technology and energy infrastructure, it's all set to be stamped Made in USA. Announcing the move on Truth Social, Trump called it a strategic realignment, saying Venezuela is committing to the US as its principal economic partner after years of close ties with rivals China and Russia. Now, calling the move a wise choice, Trump says it would be good news for both nations, boosting American businesses while helping Venezuela rebuild its economy and infrastructure. All right, viewers, let's take a quick check of the trends that are running hot on social media today. A viral rescue video from Ladakh has ignited debate after the Indian Army saved a stranded YouTuber near Umlingla Pass. Now, critics argue such rescues strain the military resources in sensitive border zones, while others defend that it's the Army's humanitarian role. Instant reopen conversations on responsible tourism in extreme terrains. YouTube giant Mr. Beast has publicly invited Virat Kohli for a potential collaboration, triggering massive buzz online. Fans are already calling it a record-breaking crossover that could unite cricket lovers and digital audiences worldwide. Well, nothing is confirmed yet. Social media is flooded with speculation about what could become one of the most watched collaborations. Childhood chapter officially closes as Doraemon airs its final episode on television in early 2026. Now, fans across generations flooded social media with nostalgia, memories and emotional tributes. While the iconic anime continues on streaming platforms globally, its departure from linear TV highlights how the viewing habits have evolved, and it marks the end of an era, on TV at least, for millions. Kiara Advani is gearing up for a visually stunning return in Toxic, training with international performers for a Cirque du Soleil-inspired act. It is a circus-inspired act, and Kiara reportedly underwent intense physical preparations to deliver a spectacle never seen before in cinema. Disney has officially cast Tegan Croft as Rapunzel and Milo Manheim as Flynn Rider in the live-action adaptation of Tangled. Fans are already obsessed with the pairing, praising the fresh casting choices. With expectations soaring, the announcement has reignited excitement around Disney's expanding live-action universe. German rock icons Scorpions are set to tour India this April after nearly 2 decades. As part of their coming home tour, the band will perform in Shillong, Delhi, Bengaluru and Mumbai. Fans can expect classic anthems like The Wind of Change and Rock You Like a Hurricane, bringing old school rock nostalgia roaring back. Now, actor and politician Vijay S. Jananayagan has taken a massive financial hit after a last-minute postponement due to CBFC delays. Despite no clearance, advance bookings had already opened, leading to heavy losses and refunds worth nearly 50 crore rupees. Now, the setback comes just days before the release, dealing a major blow to the makers of Vijay's final film before his electoral plunge. Vicky Kaushal and Katrina Kaif named their newborn son Vihan, sparking emotional reactions online. Now, the name mirrors Vicky's iconic character from Uri, The Surgical Strike, and director of Uri, Aditya Dhar, called it a full-circle moment, leaving fans touched by the deep cinematic and personal connection. And ladies and gentlemen, as we close this episode of Trending for you tonight, he's presenting a glimpse into what lies ahead for us this year. The Indian Navy is set for its biggest ever power boost, with the plans to commission 19 warships in 2026. That's the largest single-year induction in Indian Navy's history. From the frontline combat vessels to the force multipliers, this massive rollout signals India's growing maritime strength and self-reliance in defense manufacturing. A landmark year ahead for the Navy, strengthening deterrence, dominance and India's footprint across the oceans. We leave you with the visuals. Thanks for watching.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, ये तो है इसकी खास बात. वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा.
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi, and National Law School, Bengaluru.
MDH की देगी मीरज.
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building, President Trump himself leading from the front, a scenario where they want to really grab Greenland from Denmark. And so they really want to show that the security of North Atlantic is compromised and they need to be there, and that's why they need Greenland. So maybe it's because of that, we don't know. But taken together, it's clear that in the case of merchant vessel Marinera and the merchant vessel Sofia, which was caught, a dark fleet caught from near Caribbean Sea, which was taking the oil to China, United States has made it amply clear, taken together all these actions, that when it comes to its neighborhood, the Western Hemisphere, the so-called Monroe or the latest Donroe doctrine, they are the boss, they are the mafioso. Because the first reaction that has come from Russia says that this is absolutely in breach of international marine law. Now, United States does not subscribe to it. There is something called UN clause, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas. The US is not a signatory to it, and that's why they sort of, wherever their navy operates, they behave as if they are a law unto themselves, even in otherwise peace operations, more so in military operations. In this case, it's interesting that these shadow fleets are or have been working for Venezuela, and in fact, not for Venezuela, but carrying Venezuelan oil, but working for the likes of China and Russia. Are we really building up to a situation where there could be a military confrontation? We don't know, because remember, in this case also, there was a Russian submarine that was closely tracking and following merchant vessel Marinera, but it did not act. It let the Americans seize the ship, and which is now being towed to British waters. And in the case of Sofia, it's being taken to the US coast, and of course, no confrontation whatsoever from China. But what is clear is that there is one set of rules for rest of the world and another rule or rules when it comes to United States, because remember, this comes this action by the US comes on a day when President Trump has announced that US would be purchasing about $2 billion worth of oil from Venezuela and about 30 to 50 million barrels or whatever. But there is no problem if the US takes that oil, but if the rest of the world takes it, then of course Uncle Sam gets itchy. That's coming out of this. But for how long rest of the world, specifically equivalent powers like China and Russia, are going to tolerate it is the question.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने। पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
प्लीज स्टॉप। झुमका, तेरा झुमका, तेरा झुमका। नॉट देयर, मेरा काउंटर टॉप टूट जाएगा। तेरा झुमका। मेरी चिमनी टूट जाएगी। What are you doing?
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च। मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
I'm here with the founder of Blue Machines AI, my friend Nirmit, and we're just about to record something which I think is going to make history. In brief, can you tell them what we are going to be doing?
Pit Blue Machines versus Arnab, right? And that is the true test of an AI system. Can it debate the best orator which India has seen?
Okay, Nirmit, you asked for it. I'm not going to pull my punches on this one. So thank you for doing this. Let's see which side wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Game on.
Game on. Let's go for it.
In association with Blue Machines.
The icy cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean are getting hot, and how? The United States, in an overnight operation, has seized 2 oil tankers, one in the North Atlantic near Iceland, the other one near the Caribbean Sea. The one caught or seized near Iceland is Russia flagged, and the one that's caught near the Caribbean Sea was apparently a shadow tanker, a dark tanker carrying Venezuelan oil to China. Now, both the tankers were carrying Venezuelan oil, which is sanctioned by the United States. There is an embargo. It's interesting and a little curious how the 2 tankers could leave such heavily guarded waters, which are guarded both by the US Coast Guard and the US Navy, and reach this far. In fact, in the case of the merchant vessel Marinera, which is Russia flagged and was caught near Iceland by the US Navy with help from the United Kingdom Navy, the US Navy was on the chase, hot on the chase of this vessel for about 2 weeks, which shows that it was completely tracked, and both the sides were aware, because even in the case of the Russians, a submarine was closely following or shadowing this tanker which was carrying oil for Russia. Now, it's interesting why Russia, which itself has so much of energy, needs this oil from Venezuela, and that's where the whole geopolitics comes into play. Because remember, post the capture, abduction, kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, by the United States, the US has been building President Trump himself, leading.
A sitting chief minister barges into a raid and steals files. What's in the IPAC documents and hard disks that Mamata wants hidden? Nation hooked as Mamata stands guard at IPAC headquarters. Arnab's debate at 8 p.m.
এই মুহূর্তে মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় মুখ্যমন্ত্রী দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি এই মুহূর্তে কি বলবেন মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় আইপ্যাকের সহ প্রতিষ্ঠাতা কর্ণধার প্রতীক জৈনের বাড়িতে মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় প্রবেশ করলেন।
राज ठाकरे अभी कहते हैं कि देर इज नो डिस्प्यूट दे आर ट्राइंग टू फिनिश ब्रांड पवार और ब्रांड ठाकरे को खत्म करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हमें अलाउ नहीं करेंगे। आप कहते हैं ये प्रीत संगम नहीं है, ये भीत संगम है।
मैं सबसे पहले आपको बताता हूँ, देर इज नो ब्रांड ठाकरे।
हाउ कैन यू से दैट?
ओनली वन ब्रांड, हिंदू हृदय सम्राट शिवसेना प्रमुख बाला साहब ठाकरे, दैट वाज अ ब्रांड। अब कोई ब्रांड नहीं बचा है। इन्होंने उनके जो विचार थे, उनकी जो राजनीति थी, उसको टोटली समाप्त कर दिया है, उसको कुचल दिया है और इसलिए अब कोई ठाकरे ब्रांड वगैरह नहीं है, ब्रांड वही रहेगा। ये देखिए, जन्म से संपत्ति मिलती है, विचारों की विरासत नहीं मिलती।
As Trump takes control of Venezuelan oil, what does the Russia sanctions bill mean for India? Will India face 500% American tariffs now? Arnab's debate at 9 p.m.
अजीत पवार जी खुलकर बोल रहे, आप पे पॉट शॉट ले रहे, कह रहे जो हमारे पे 70,000 करोड़ के एलिगेशंस करते थे वो उनके साथ मैं सरकार में बैठा हूँ। ये बात उनको कहने की जरूरत क्यों?
कोई भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना ये आसान नहीं होता पॉलिटिक्स में, और विशेष रूप से जब आप एक पार्टी में काम करते हो तो आपको फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दिखानी पड़ती है। आज इस चुनाव में मैंने ये स्ट्रेटेजी रखी है कि मैं मेरा डेवलपमेंट का प्लान, इसको मैं किसी भी हालत में दूर नहीं होने दूंगा, इसलिए मैं किसी चीज का जवाब नहीं दे रहा हूँ।
वो क्यों?
वरना आपको तो पता है, जवाब देने में तो मेरी जबान जो चलती है वो तो कोई रोक नहीं सकता, लेकिन अभी मुझे किसी चीज का जवाब नहीं।
आप कह रहे हैं अजीत पवार के स्टेटमेंट पर आप अपने आप को रिस्ट्रेन करते हैं?
बिल्कुल, आई हैव रेस्ट्रेन्ड माय
नेचुरल स्टाइल में आप जवाब दे देते हैं।
हाँ, मैं पक्का
टाइप का
एकदम जोर से जवाब देता हूँ, लेकिन मैंने तय किया इस बार नहीं देना।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, how a sitting chief minister barged into an ongoing ED raid and stole files. And at 9 p.m. as Trump takes control of Venezuelan oil, what does his proposed Russia sanctions bill mean for India? And ladies and gentlemen, what has happened in Kolkata is absolutely disgraceful. I still cannot believe that a chief minister can behave in the way in which Mamata Banerjee has done today. Mamata Banerjee, you are lowering the position of chief minister when you behave like this. In case you missed what happened, let me describe it for you in a nugget. The Enforcement Directorate, the ED, decided to carry out raids in a private company at the residence of the head of the private company called IPAC, and in the office of the private company. Now, this company apparently does electoral strategy and social media management, etc. for the Trinamool Congress. It is a private company. It is not the office of the Trinamool Congress. For whatever reason, we are told because of suspected hawala transactions, because of suspicious actions of this company, there was a raid by ED officials from a unit called the High Intensity Unit, or the HIU. 7 officers came and they went to a house of a person called Pratik Jain, who heads this company. By the way, this is originally Prashant Kishore's company. He claims he's no longer involved with it. Ladies and gentlemen, before you know it, Mamata Banerjee lands up where the raid is happening. She panics. She goes to the home of the head of this private company and decides to do everything possible to block the Enforcement Directorate. This is completely disgraceful behavior. And then she panics. First, she steps out of her car and goes to Pratik Jain's residence. And then she goes to the office of IPAC. Ladies and gentlemen, why does the Chief Minister go to help a private company? She rushes in a state of absolute panic. Even before the office opens, even before the IPAC employees themselves enter, Mamata Banerjee enters and walks out with a green file. There's something, she starts taking out files from there. Personally, she takes the commissioner and the DG of police of Bengal with her, like her own private employees, and goes into the office of IPAC and says, take the files out, take the hard drives out. And then she starts taking away material from the office of IPAC. People are stunned across India. Then she decides, I'm not going to leave this place. Ladies and gentlemen, she goes to the Sector 5 Salt Lake office. She enters a company called Godrej Waterside, goes to the 11th floor, goes to the IPAC office and starts browbeating the ED officials. This is absolutely crazy behavior, ladies and gentlemen. She goes up and down, she takes documents. And while all of this is happening, ladies and gentlemen, she also snatches away in all of this the mobile phone and the laptop of Pratik Jain, the head of this private company, and takes it with her, confiscates it. I'm told that she also tried to take the laptop of one of the ED officials. Now, what is Mamata Banerjee hiding? What is she afraid of? What is there in that office of IPAC, which is originally Prashant Kishore's company, that she does not want anyone to have access to? Let's first realize she has behaved in a completely, I wouldn't say unconventional, in a very suspicious manner. My first question is, Mamata Banerjee, what are you trying to hide? What is there in that office? What are there in those files that you're so scared if the ED gets their hands on it that you'll be exposed? Are you afraid of being exposed? Now I have a series of questions here, ladies and gentlemen. We see Mamata entering the basement of that building, taking piles of documents in the car from that IPAC office, coming out of the IPAC office, giving a speech. And before I go into why I think her behavior is suspicious, I want to play a sequence of confrontations between Republic Bangla reporters, the brilliant reporters of Republic Bangla, and Mamata Banerjee. Just watch these series of interactions and how she runs away each time she is questioned. Take a look, a short clip.
দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি 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 কি বলবেন দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি 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 এই মুহূর্তে কি বলবেন এই মুহূর্তে তুমি দেখতে পাচ্ছ মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়
ladies and gentlemen, there are multiple sequences like that. I asked for 4 to be played. 1 was played. I'm not going to lead into each one. Please play them.
दीदी दीदी उन्हें तो टीएमसी के उन्हें मैंने काके मसद अपनी ले दीदी 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 उन्हें तो टीएमसी के उन्हें मैंने काके मसद अपनी ले दीदी
আমি ছবি দেখে ফাইল নিয়ে সঞ্জয় নাইয়া এই মুহূর্তে ফাইল নিয়ে বানিয়ে যাচ্ছেন ফাইল নিয়ে মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় আসার পর তার গাড়িতে ফাইল ঢোকানো হচ্ছে ফাইল ঢোকানো হচ্ছে এই মুহূর্তে ছবি দেখানো হচ্ছে ফাইল ঢোকানো হচ্ছে
The reason I played those sound bites is for you to see for yourself how completely, what's the right word for it, how completely wound up Mamata Banerjee was. It was as if she was panicking that all her secrets will be found. The way she was behaving, she was like someone who had lost something very precious. She was going around, not looking at the media, but she was consumed with fear, ladies and gentlemen. She was consumed with fear. Why so is what the nation wants to know. I am pretty sure, Mamata Banerjee, this company only does social media for you. Does this company do anything else for you? Or for Abhishek Banerjee or anyone in your party? Please tell us, the nation wants to know. These are questions. Does this company only do social media for you? Question number 1. Does this company do only electoral analysis? Or does it manage other things? If so, what other things does it manage? What other information does it have? This so-called private company. What are you scared of would have been found in the home of this company? The nation wants to know. Have you outsourced any other work to this company? Have you outsourced any other work to this private company? Something which lets them run a parallel machinery. Is there any truth in that? It's only a question. Because, Mamata Banerjee, this is a corporate setup. What is there to hide? What exactly are you trying to hide? Now, Mamata Banerjee, don't lie. IPAC is not a party. You've gone around today, given a speech saying that, you know what, my party office has been raided. No. Since when did a private company become your party office? And if indeed you have rolled Trinamool Congress's operations into IPAC, why so? The nation wants to know. You get votes in the name of the Trinamool Congress, then where is IPAC? IPAC is not a political party. Most importantly, Mamata Banerjee, what is in the green file? Why are you holding it so close to you? Why did you take the risk? Why did you embarrass yourself? Why are you creating a situation where you are a laughing stock today everywhere in the country? People are saying, how is the Chief Minister behaving? What were you trying to protect? The nation wants to know. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 2 things. Will Mamata Banerjee return Pratik Jain's mobile phone and laptop? This is becoming a Sherlock Holmes kind of mystery. Will she or will she not return? If she tries to clean the data from that laptop or phone, it will be found out. In fact, she could be in a trap already. Secondly, is it true that she was trying to put pressure on the ED officials to file a nil Panchanama? Why is she behaving like this? Here is a chief minister of one of the largest states of the country, most populous states, putting pressure on an officer to file a nil Panchanama. Is this the way to behave for a chief minister to disgrace her position by behaving like a bully? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen, just think about it. Finally, once again, Mamata Banerjee, what exactly were you trying to hide? Puchta hai Bharat. The nation wants to know. Jawab chahe Bangla.
Unprecedented scenes in Kolkata.
দিদি কি বলবেন? দিদি 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 এই মুহূর্তে কি বলবেন? এই মুহূর্তে তুমি দেখতে পাচ্ছ মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় প্রতিষ্ঠাতা কর্ণধার প্রতীক জৈনের বাড়িতে মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় প্রবেশ করলেন। দিদি কি বলবেন?
The Bengal Chief Minister walked straight into an active raid site.
দিদি এই মুহূর্তে কি বলবেন?
To collect all of our party hard disk, the candidate list, the party strategy, the party plan. Is it the duty of the ED and Amit Shah, the nasty home minister, the naughty home minister?
Confronted by Republic, she simply zoomed to her next stop.
দিদি আইপ্যাকের অফিসে কেন? সরাসরি আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। দিদি দিদি কি বলবেন? দিদি দিদি আইপ্যাকের অফিসে কেন?
And then Mamata does the unthinkable at the Godrej Waterside IT Park in Salt Lake.
আমি ছবি দেখে ফাইল নিয়ে সঞ্জয় নাইয়া এই মুহূর্তে ফাইল নিয়ে বাড়িয়ে যাচ্ছেন। ফাইল নিয়ে মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় আসার পর তার গাড়িতে ফাইল ঢোকানো হচ্ছে। ফাইল ঢোকানো হচ্ছে এই মুহূর্তে ছবি দেখানো হচ্ছে। ফাইল ঢোকানো হচ্ছে।
She walks out with documents even as the raids are underway. She decided to stand guard.
BJP is a killer's party. They are the great killer of democracy. An IT office, IPAC office. How can they do it like this? If I raid their party, their IT office, will it be all right?
The situation turned ugly as these goons targeted Republic Bangla.
What these people are doing, I'll show here. These gundas are trying to harass us. These are the gundas who are trying to harass us. This is the situation of West Bengal. This is the situation of West Bengal where the TMC cadres are harassing Republic Network because we are speaking for the people, but we will stand here and we will report. We will talk for the people. These are TMC cadres trying to harass us.
The Enforcement Directorate links the raids to coal scam Hawala money.
Never before have we seen something like this, that a sitting chief minister has not only obstructed the Enforcement Directorate officials from carrying out their duties, but she has actually gone ahead, a step ahead, and literally threatened the Enforcement Directorate officers by telling them that they need to wind up the search proceedings. And not just that, the Panchnama, which is essentially a record of what they have essentially found and whatever they have seized, the Panchnama, they essentially wanted that to be mentioned as nil Panchnama, effectively meaning that the Enforcement Directorate did not find anything.
Mamata has stolen evidence and blocked public servants. A repeat offense. Will she return the files or face the law?
Okay, okay, Niladri of Trinamool Congress. Okay, we got Sanju Verma of BJP. Let's move fast. We got Satyaprakash Mishra of JDU. We got Niladri from 3MC. We got Faizan Kidwai, spokesperson Samajwadi Party. Anmol Pawar of AAP. And yep, let's start. Okay. So, Niladri, she was hiding something. What was in the green file that she stole?
Arnab, she was not hiding something. Rather, the question should be raised that why the BJP is utilizing the ED to take out confidential and secret documents of the TMC.
No,
that is the first question we should be asked.
1 minute, one sec, just 1 minute. You said confidential and secret documents. What is the secrecy of the document in a private office called IPAC? The private office, no? What's secret?
It is common knowledge that IPAC does the voter profiling, manages the IT.
No problem, but does it do any money transactions? Does the IPAC, 1 minute, does the IPAC do any money transactions? Because when the ED comes in, it is only when there is a PMLA offense, which means it's a financial offense. PMLA, prevention of money laundering.
And the case which they are referring to refers to a 2020 case.
No, does the Trinamool Congress, I'll bring Sanju in on this 1 minute. Just 1 minute, we'll give it focus. Niladri, does the Trinamool Congress, does the IPAC, I don't know, I am only going to ask questions. Does the IPAC manage any money? distribute any money?
Whether IPAC
I'm
manages
asking,
money is
does
not
the
question
IPAC
today.
distribute any money,
question is-
or does it
the
only looks
question-
and likes and subscribers?
The question is that why does the BJP uses the institutions to fight a battle which it can't win politically?
Okay, I'll get Sanju on
That
the
is
debate.
question.
My question is not a leading question. It's an innocent question from an innocent man. Does the IPAC handle any money? That's all. You can say yes or no. But the way she has taken
no,
the
that is
files
not the issue.
out, Sanju is on the debate. Sanju, the charge against your party is that you're targeting her politically. You want her political secrets. You want her strategy. That's why you've raided the office using the ED, because you want the secret of Mamta's political strategy. Sanju.
Thank you, Arnab. You know, I just want to say a couple of things here. Do you remember when the SIR exercise started in West Bengal, openly threatening the election commission? What did Mamata Banerjee say? Amake aghat korle ami shara Bharat Barsho hiliye debo. If you dare touch me, if you dare undertake this exercise, I will create an upheaval in the entire country. Despite the fact that the election commission is a constitutional body under Article 324. And Mamata Banerjee's today's anguish is not an isolated case. She has abused the BSF. She has in the past, in 2022, when the Enforcement Directorate landed in Birbhum, after the Birbhum massacre, when the CBI landed there, Trinamool goons, they tried attacking the ED and CBI officials. This is the same Mamata Banerjee who, after the Arjikor rape, instead of sacking the then police commissioner Vineet Goyal, guess what is the new position of Vineet Goyal? I did not interject. I don't understand. What is wrong with you? Did I heckle you? Fine.
Okay, big political debate tonight. Viewers, 1 minute.
Why do you need it?
One question here. One question. Okay, 1 minute. May I just ask you a thing?
What kind of
1 minute. 1 minute.
debate is this?
1 minute. May I just intervene for a moment? You see, look at it very logically.
I was quiet when he was talking.
Yeah, just a moment.
I was absolutely quiet.
Just a moment, please. Just a moment.
Niladri, can you show
Mamata
some
Banerjee allegedly has gone to the ED officials and said, after taking away and stealing on the documents which she says are hers, after running away with the green file, she has also taken away Pratik Jain's mobile phone and laptop. Now, what secrets are there, the nation wants to know, in the mobile phone and laptop of Pratik Jain, the co-founder of IPAC? By the way, I keep repeating, this is Prashant Kishore's company. Maybe not technically today, but non-technically, the way everyone who knows IPAC in India knows it through Prashant Kishore. Prashant Kishore, where are you today? The nation wants to know. This is the office where you used to manage everything for Mamata. Where are you, Prashant Kishore? Nation wants to know. Now tell me one thing. Why did she confiscate the mobile phone, the laptop? Chor ki dari mein tinka. The question is, Faizan, something's very shady about this. Why is she doing it? And why is she taking the DG and commissioner with her to intimidate the ED?
I'll tell you, sir. Good evening, first of all. Good evening to you and to the fellow panelists. And Mr. Goswami, as Mamata Banerjee has explicitly said that these are personal documents of TMC. And this has nothing to do with the corruption probe. So, first of all, this violates Article 19, which talks about freedom of association. So, what ED was doing was unconstitutional. As the Bharatiya Janata Party, and a lot of people are asking what Mamata Banerjee has to hide. So, kindly tell me, Bharatiya Janata Party people, what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had to hide, that he wasn't disclosing the PM care funds. Why were they kept out of the
don't make this about Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Why were they kept out of the ambits of RTI? What was Narendra Modi hiding?
Calm down, everyone. Calm down. Only two voices. Niladri, stay out of it. Niladri, stay out of it. Niladri, stay out of it.
Mr. Goswami, you have to let me speak.
Yeah, 1 minute. Sanju, let him attack you. You attack him. You attack him after he attacks you, but not over him. Sanju, no, 1 minute. Now you, Faizan, chill. Chill, Faizan, chill this moment. Chill right now, I'm telling you. And Sanju, don't intervene right now. Calm down. Order. Sanju, calm down. Let him attack you. You attack him after. You let him attack you. You attack him after. Then I otherwise lose the audio track, right? I lose the audio track. Then people tell me, or no, why do people speak over each other? I say, I don't know.
Now listen, let him. Faizan, complete your point in 30 seconds. Please calm down. Welcome, Jyotsna. The debate's hotting up. Yeah.
This is so obvious. Viewers just see how the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson got rattled the moment I spoke about PM Care Funds क्योंकि आपका पैसा चोरी किया था. And these are the very people who were not letting you.
Sanju, do not respond to every word and hyphen used by him. Sanju, don't do that.
Who are the donors through electoral bonds? They stole around 6,000 crores. I'll tell you. Aurobindo Pharma was accused. They took crores of rupees and the case has been dropped. Then there's Mega Engineering. They took 966 crores. Case was dropped. Future Gaming, 1,400 crores. Your money. Bharatiya Janata Party took money from these big companies and the cases were shut down. So this is the Chal Charit character of Bharatiya Janata Party. Do they have even an iota of credibility? Okay, Sanju Verma, I'll just tell you what the observations of the Honorable Supreme Court are about
Sanju!
this.
Sanju! Sanju!
On July 21st, 2025, cautioned ED for being used for political issues.
The Enforcement Directorate has suo motu power under Section 16, 17, 18 and 19 of the PMLA. Mamata Banerjee should be arrested under Section 238 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita.
Is the BJP officially asking for 1 minute, Sanju, 1 minute? Did you just ask for Mamata Banerjee's arrest? Are you doing so in your personal or professional capacity? Sanju, are you asking for the arrest of Mamata Banerjee as a BJP spokesperson? Shall I carry a breaking news grid that BJP demands immediate arrest of Mamata Banerjee? Are you doing so consciously, fully aware that you're here as a BJP spokesperson asking for the arrest of a chief minister?
Yes, let me finish. I'm very, very sure of what I'm saying. I don't want the Samajwadi Party.
She didn't let me speak.
Goon.
This is
Goon.
Sanju Verma, why don't you answer my question?
Sanju
Verma, why don't you answer my question?
Ask this man to shut up first.
Why don't you first of all answer my questions? Why do you need TMC's personal data?
This radical jihadi goon off
because you know you cannot defeat Mamata
Banerjee. I will not debate like this,
Arnab. Calm down now. 1 minute, viewers. Okay, now Faizan, just chill down. Bring your blood pressure down. Slowly, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Anulom Vilom. 1 minute, calm down. Now my question is to Jyotsna. I'll have to have a ceasefire in this for 20 seconds. Do not call him a jihadi, please, Sanju. 1 minute. Now question
Let me finish.
You question. Are a jihadi, Sanju
No, let
Verma.
me finish.
You are a
I need to get everyone in.
Okay,
fair enough. Good.
I will give everybody their turn. But right now, there are 4 people who haven't spoken on the debate. I'm drawing them in. And I'm getting in.
I say Mamata Banerjee should be arrested.
Break
because in her position as the Chief Minister of West Bengal, she had no business going to Pratik Jain's residence and trying to obstruct the ED.
All right, I hear you now, and now you hear me. Ladies and gentlemen, my question is that obviously if you see the visuals and I commented over it, Jyotsna and Anmol, we are looking at the legal precedent, the present situation. The fact of the matter is that this is not the Trinamool Congress office. What was arrested, and the ED says that no party office has been searched. The search is not linked to any elections and is part of a regular crackdown on money laundering. So the ED is saying this is about money laundering. Now, if there is no money laundering, then good. If there is money laundering, then it cannot be protected. You cannot say that, the IPAC where Prashant Kishore is to work out of is a quasi-party office. It's either a party office or not. Right, Jyotsna? As of now, it's not a party office. It's disgraceful to see the chief minister turn into the person handling the security of a private office. What on earth is going on in Kolkata? The nation wants to know tonight. Jyotsna is on this hot debate this evening, Jyotsna. First GDP, then up. Jyotsna. Unmute, Jyotsna. Unmute.
Arnabji, it's very clear. I hope I'm clear, Arnabji.
Yes, loud and clear, even louder.
Okay. Now, the point is that the debate and the discussion tonight is not, BJP versus TMC or things like that. It's about just the nation wants to know today that how can a chief minister walk in where an ED raid is going on, simply take some documents and walk out of there.
Louder.
And then again come back and say that I am the victim. The point is you have committed a crime there and then you say, I am the victim. Now, my simple question lies, if she says that those are her documents, her party's documents, then she could have sent somebody, those documents could have been checked by the ED officials there and they could have handed over to her. Simple.
We'll have to improve your audio. I'll get a response in the meantime from Satya. Satya, can you take that forward? Satya, because TDP audio is not good. Improving the TDP audio. Satya, the fact is a chief minister cannot snatch documents during a raid. This has never happened in Indian history. I keep underlining it. This cannot happen. There is a process, there's a protocol, there's a convention, and there's a way of behaving, for God's sake. Satya.
Arnab, the act of this Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is commission of offence under the law. If any common man like you, me or any other people would intervene or disrupt the process of any government agency, investigating agency, we will be liable to face the consequences of law and will get arrested by that such kind of
Then why was
act.
she not arrested on the spot? Why was she not arrested? Why was she allowed to go out with a file?
Because, the ED's responsibility not to arrest Mamata Banerjee. The ED's responsibility was to carry out a raid.
In that sense, has the ED failed in its duty? Has the ED, one minute, has the ED, why did the ED allow her to go out with the files?
The green, because she snatched the file. She rushed there.
So she snatched the file. I mean, she's not Muhammad Ali. She snatched the file. Stop her and take it away from her.
The West Bengal.
No, one minute. I don't understand this. You are saying tonight, and there's a mad situation we are in. It's a crazy situation we are in. It's an unseen situation we are in. Full frame visuals. I want to talk over it for 20 seconds. The ED raids a private office.
Has nothing to do with constitution. She is ready to violate all laws.
No, but for God's sake, if you believe, 1 minute.
Nothing to do with democracy as well.
She's looking angry. She's looking confused. She's pushing back the cameras. She's looking totally possessed. She's looking panicked. Look at her. She's gone completely. She's out of control out here. Increase the audio. Let the people get a sense of what's going on. Play the loop from the beginning. Look at her. She comes out.
দিদি কি বলবেন দিদি দিদি
And she says she goes there, or barita kothai. Let me repeat. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first shot we get. 1 minute, back on the screen with the guest here right now. This is the first visual we have of Mamata Banerjee looking completely possessed, like God knows what's going on. And she says out there, or barita kothai. This is very early in the morning, ladies and gentlemen. She just lands up like that at the residence of the head of a private company with her DGP and her commissioner. She's crazy. There's something in that house. There's something in that office she doesn't want the ED to get its hands to. What could that be?
That green file which she snatched away, that green file must have some black deep nexus between the private limited company and the Mamata Banerjee personally.
No, 1 minute. Now I'll show you a confrontation between Republic Bangla anchor Kishalai, Republic Bangla anchor Kishalai and Mamata. Let's play this one. Please listen to this.
চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার হয়েছে দিদি মমতা ব্যানার্জি চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার করেছেন মমতা ব্যানার্জি আপনারা কি চুরির টাকা ইলেকশনে ব্যবহার করেছেন মমতা ব্যানার্জি আপনারা কি কয়লা চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার করেছেন মমতা ব্যানার্জি আপনারা কি কয়লা চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার করেছেন মমতা ব্যানার্জি আপনারা কি কয়লা চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার করেছেন ইলেকশনে আপনারা কি কয়লা চুরির টাকা ক্যামেরাটা এদিকে আপনারা কি কয়লা চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার করেছেন আমাদের দালাল বলছেন এদিকে ক্যামেরা আলিদা এদিকে মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় আপনি কি কয়লা চুরির টাকা ব্যবহার করেছেন
Kishalai there. You can see she clearly here. She goes away from the Republic Bangla camera today. Republic Bangla, the most popular channel in network. There is another network which is a min-min channel, we call it. Tausif, a min-min channel. It's a scared, cowardly channel which doesn't ask that question. She could have answered. She could have said, no, I have not taken money from any coal scam and used it for the election. She doesn't say that. Tausif.
Arnab, you suggested that Mamata Banerjee was possessed. you must not indulge into such superstitious statement because this is a criminal act under the law. You must never promote any
Mamta Banerjee can abuse the Prime Minister.
I'm saying she's looking like she's panicked. My question is here.
Abuse the Election Commission.
Mamta Banerjee is a tigress. Anyone comes to attack her should be ready.
Tausif and Sanju. One minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I am not bothered. Tausif, 1 minute. Sanju, calm down. First question is Sanju, 1 minute. Sanju, let me say one thing to Tausif because he said something to me out there. 1 minute.
Mamta Banerjee needs to go and visit a shrink.
This is 1 minute. No personal comments. Let's keep it professional. My point is, Sanju, that as far as the law is concerned, and Tausif, we need to look at the facts here. Anmol, interference with the investigative process. Interference with the investigative process under Article 256 of the Constitution, 257 of the Constitution. And if you had done this, Anmol, you would be arrested under Section 221 of the BNS, which is obstructing a public servant in the discharge of their public functions. This is clearly mentioned under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. It's also under 132 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, where you are using assault or criminal force to stop a public servant from doing their duty. Now, this is unseen. See, the point is, Anmol, if there is nothing, if it is the social media profile as you are claiming it is, this is such an innocent company. It does like subscriber social media management for Mamta, then why is she behaving like this? Is this company doing anything else? Anmol, would you have behaved in this manner?
Good evening, Arnabji. Arnabji, agencies like ED and CBI, they have lost their credibility a long time back. They are working at the behest of the ruling party, Bharatiya Janata Party.
And take this lightly.
You know what?
Stop demonizing our institutions. Your boss, Arvind Kejriwal, is out on bail.
I didn't interject.
Your deputy boss, Manish Sisodia, is out on bail.
Can I put my point?
Satinder Jain, one of your other bosses, is out on bail. Your
our
Rajya
leader,
Sabha MP, Sanjay Singh, is out on bail.
The same agency gave clean chit to our leader, Satendra Jain, saying that they are filing a closure report because there's no evidence.
Sanju, 1 minute. May I?
There was no evidence.
1 minute. Sanju, 1 minute. Anmol, I'm countering your point. Sanju, please don't just allow me to counter his point factually with a very important example I want to refer to tonight, Anmol. And the example is this. Sanju, please don't speak over him. 1 minute. Anmol, the example is this. 1 minute. Anmol, the example is this. The example is this, Anmol. You need to prepare to be countered. You see, Bengal is a part of India. 1 minute. 1 minute. Listen to me now. Everyone, just please don't interrupt me. I'll establish the point in 30 seconds, right? I won't even have to raise my voice. So calm down. Please understand, Bengal is a part of India. It is a state of India, okay? You cannot say, I will do what the hell I want. Now, in February 2019, 8 CBI officers had reached the official residence of Rajiv Kumar. Then he was a Kolkata police commissioner to question him in the Sharada chit fund case. Okay. Now, whenever, and this question is to Niladri also, everyone 2 versus 2. If today, Niladri, you are a lawyer and I'm a police, I want to question you, and you don't cooperate, then I have a right. I have a right to arrest you for non-cooperation. Okay. Mamta Banerjee, instead of allowing the questioning to happen, she picked up the CBI officers, told Kolkata police, take them to the Shakespeare Sarani police station. She, 1 minute. She deployed large contingents of Kolkata police around CBI offices, around the Joint Director's office, around the ED offices, right? And it became a situation where one began to fear, Niladri, that this lady believes that she does not believe that the law of the country applies to Bengal. Now that is a different situation. 1 minute, this is you can't allow that. She can't allow that. She can't allow that. She cannot defy defy tomorrow. She'll defy every single constitutional norm. And let me ask you, what are you scared of? Is your party's name Anmol in those papers? Is your party's name in those papers?
Why was Mamata Banerjee
1 minute.
so desperate to rush to Pratik Jain?
One of you audio control, please. Right now, I'll tell you. One minute. By the way, Niladri.
What is the relationship between Pratik Jain and Mamata Banerjee?
You've given one
I demand an
I one at a time. Niladri up.
I demand an answer.
2021.
What's the
Niladri right now, please. Sanju, 1 minute. Niladri, 30 seconds to Niladri.
Yes. See, you have known one instance, or not, let me tell you the second instance. In 2021, there was an allegation of the CM that she had barged into the CBI office and the 4 ministers were arrested. The matter went up till Supreme Court. Words like mobocracy and all these things came up.
Of course, it's a mobocracy in Bengal.
But ultimately, what happened? The Supreme Court and the Calcutta High Court refused to intervene. And the matter is lying in court.
Let me give you a more recent example of the mobocracy in Bengal, and Sanju and you are on the debate. 1 minute. I would like Niladri and Sanju to be on the screen. Niladri, Sanju, 1 minute. Sanju, can you not be the audio track here? Give me a moment.
This is IT cell. It raises questions. The nation should know this.
Audio, one at a time.
Functioning only as the B team of the BJP.
Sanju.
And the B team
Talk
of the
about the Hawala operations of the Shakhambari group. What is the relationship between Mamata Banerjee and the Shakhambari group? The CEO of Shakhambari, Deepak Agarwal, is a close friend of Mamata Banerjee. Last year, the Shakhambari group had a turnover of more than 6,000 crores. And this happened out of almost zero.
Now 1 minute. Sanju, don't do the whole reading here. I'm asking a very specific question. I want AAP and TMC on air for a moment. Everyone else, please put them in a 4-window, 2 windows on the side. I have a specific question here to Anmol. See, Anmol, there is one thing which connects TMC and Aam Aadmi Party. You know what that is? Goa. Both the parties, Trinamool and Aam Aadmi Party, have spent a lot of money in Goa in pursuing political ambitions in Goa, Niladri and Anmol. Now, I am not saying anything, but ED sources are saying that both TMC and AAP presumably could have been using some people, or rather same people, in Goa. I'm not saying anything else, anything more. I have, please, thank you. Now the question is, please understand out here. I just am asking a question, okay, Niladri and Anmol, listen carefully to the question. Did either Trinamool or Aam Aadmi Party use any people connected to any syndicate who in turn had any links with any Hawala operators? Was any money used or not used in the electoral process from Goa, right? Because IPAC also worked in Goa. IPAC is not a event management company. Can I respond? IPAC, listen to me. You first hear the question, don't be in a hurry to respond. People are listening to every word I'm saying tonight. IPAC is not a company that organizes rock concerts. IPAC is a company that works for political parties. You people have said that IPAC only does subscribers, likes, dislikes, Facebook, Meta, social media management. It's an innocent little small company of Prashant Kishore. Small company, it does innocent work where bright young people do social media management. कुछ करते ही नहीं, ये content creators हैं ये लोग. यही हमारी magic है. This is what has been told to the people / sold to the people. Now I am asking you, at any point of time, do you recollect IPAC doing any other stuff, any hanky-panky, any money matter, any transactions in cash check kind? Think closely before you reply.
To answer your question, Arnab, first of all, the raids of the ED is not linked to whether on the TMC. It is linked to a cow smuggling. It is linked to a cow smuggling case of 2020 where all the accused have been given bail.
How do you know? The ED officers told you?
The case,
linked to the
yes,
coal scam.
and the case was in
The
court
raid
for
by
the
the
last 5
ED
years.
is linked to the
Today
coal
the election
scam.
has come.
It
Today
is
the election
not
has
linked
come,
to
so this
cow
case has been
smuggling.
dusted and
It is
come
linked
up
to
on
the
the pipe.
coal scam.
Secondly,
And the
if
people
the
involved
ED
in the
feels
coal scam
the TMC
are
is
Mamata
involved in this,
Banerjee,
why don't you file an FIR
nephew
against the TMC
Abhishek
and
Banerjee.
investigate?
The
You
people
will not
involved
do
in
that.
coal
You
scam
don't have
are
the guts
Mamata
on that.
Banerjee's
And
close
I'm
associate
very
Deepak Agarwal,
shocked, Arnab,
who runs
by
a company
seeing the
called Shah
BJP
Company Group.
spokesperson
The
defending
coal scam
a
involves
ED, the investigating
people like
agency,
Pratik Jain,
the person.
who
So
is a
it
very close
clearly
associate of
proves
Mamata
that the
Banerjee.
BJP
So
is in
the
cahoots with
ED
the
raid has
ED
to do
and
with
they are
the
using
coal
the ED
scam.
to have a
Hello,
backdoor
1 minute,
entry
these
in
ED
speakers
raid
not to
has
be
to
taken.
do with coal theft
Literally.
They will never
from
have.
Eastern Coalfields
EDs.
By
Limited
their
situated in
actions,
West
people of
Bengal.
Bengal know
This has
that
nothing to do with the
CBI,
cattle
ED, and
smuggling
all these
scam.
agencies
You don't
only
even know
wake
the
up before the
basics of the
elections,
topic of
and
the
after the
debate
election,
and
they
you're
will go up
ranting
to the
on and on and on.
hibernation.
And
They
I demand that Mamata Banerjee should be arrested for obstructing a
You
public
don't want to
official
make a
from
political
doing
martyr
his
of Mamata Banerjee.
duty.
You
Mamata
can't fight
Banerjee
her
should
on
be
the streets.
arrested
You
for
can't fight her
tampering
on the
with
road. You
electronic
can't fight her
evidence. And
electorally.
Mamata
And today
Banerjee
you
should
are
be
trying
arrested
to a
for
backdoor
should
entry.
send someone to
Such
collect
stealing from
FIR
something.
has
the
backfired on you.
investigation
So
site
All the
herself
cases.
all
rushed to the
necessary
Please
site
electronic
understand.
proof.
where the
When
raid
all
was going
ministers were
on
arrested, when
and
so
she
many ministers
snatched
were
the file
arrested,
from
Should
ED.
Mamata
Mamata
Banerjee be
Banerjee never
arrested,
went to
yes
the
or
Dhanda.
no?
She seized the
For
laptop,
preventing the
mobile phone
enforcement
and
directorate
everything
from
Trying to
and
discharging
steal
so the
a
huge
documents.
amount of file was
public
thrown
official
in.
judgment.
I am asking again. I'd like to see. I'll ask you a question. Let me give you a hypothetical situation tonight. Let me give you a hypothetical situation. I want Jyotsna to be on air. Jyotsna and Satyaprakash will be on air. Let me give you a hypothetical situation. Suppose there is a political party. Hypothetical has no bearing to any real situation as of this minute. Suppose, Jyotsna, there is a political party that outsources financial work and financial dealings to a company. Suppose that company does financial dealings with Hawala operators. Suppose crores of rupees are transacted through a private company in a hypothetical situation for a political party to make payments, manage people, manage situations, do payoffs, etc., like that, right? And if that is done using Hawala connections, cash transactions, tell me then, Jyotsna, is it a crime or not? Is it money laundering or not in that hypothetical situation? Jyotsna.
Arnab, every small child knows what it is. Now, I'll come because I have very less time. So I request you to give me 1 minute to just ask a question to whoever is backing Mamta Di or whoever is, backing TMC. My question is simple. If there some documents, confidential documents of TMC were there, they could have sent somebody. Got that. One second, Anmolji, you don't have to intervene here. You don't have to back Mamta Ji so much. Let me answer. My point is simple. They could have sent somebody, asked them to come there, check those documents, and then she could have taken. Why did she literally had to snatch the documents from there? And then again she plays the victim card. Why does she play the victim card? Why does she
Where do you have the information that she has snatched?
victim card?
It is all hearsay. It is all hearsay, ma'am, that she has snatched.
She is
where do you get the
the
information that
thief.
she
And
has
then she
snatched the
comes back,
documents?
it is visible.
From where
It
do-
is visible.
Where do
Sir,
you
it
get
is
the
visible.
information
You
that
have
she
to
has snatched
understand
the
that.
documents?
Sir,
You
where
are
is she?
just spreading canards.
Sir, does a
It
chief
is a-
minister walk to a raid place of an ED? Does a chief
As the
minister
head of the
walk to a
party,
place where a
as
ED
the head
raid
of
is
the
going on?
party, it is her job to
Is it your
protect the
party
party
office, sir?
in the
Sir,
best,
is it
in the
your party
best manner
office?
she deems
Sir, is
fit,
it your
ma'am.
party office?
She is
Sir,
the-
is
as
it
the
your
head of the
party office? Sir, is
she
it your
the
party
best
office?
person to
It's not your
decide.
party office.
Yes,
It's
it is
not your
it may
party
not be a
office.
party office,
It
but
is
it
not
an
your party office.
It is an office of an
Stop
agency which
supporting
deals with the
thieves.
TMC
Or
IT
you
cell.
yourself for a thief.
It is
Sir,
an office
stop
which deals with the
supporting
TMC
thieves.
IT cell. You want to have my
Simple.
voter list, you want to have
Why
my
did you
surveys,
go
you
there?
want to have all my
Why, don't you
confidential
know it is
documents. Why do you
unconstitutional?
want? You did not get through,
Sir,
sir.
don't you
did
know
not
that
get
it's
through
a
any other way.
crime
Now you
to get into an ED raid?
No,
we know
unless,
BJP is doing
Don't you know?
okay.
Don't you know it's a crime?
Just 1 minute, Niladri. a specific question.
Don't you know
A
that it's
specific
crime
question,
to
please.
go to a place
Unless
where
she
illegal
feels
is
that the
happening?
fingerprints are hers or her party's. Faizan, I repeat here today, have the Trinamool people left any fingerprints in the IPAC office or evidence which they feel could get them in trouble? Is that the reason she behaved unnaturally?
Faizan, any small kid will tell you the answer for that. Any small kid will tell you the answer for that.
Ma'am, Jyotsna ji, please kindly let me. Since you are supporting Bharatiya Janata Party, I would want you to kindly ask this question to Bharatiya Janata Party. It's very unfortunate. Bharatiya Janata Party in this unholy nexus of ED.
I'm not supporting
Right, you're
Bharatiya
supporting the system. Right. I'm helping you. I'm giving you some information. Kindly just do some analysis here, madam. Now try and understand. Bharatiya Janata Party is using ED not only to target political opponents, but also Bharatiya Janata Party